In this video, we're going to have a look at the attribute process for the PIM. So basically, when we talk to customers, it's what attributes do they want for their products that they need to put into the PIM. Questions from us are, you know, what what labels do they want? What types of attributes are they? What's the current sources so we can do mass imports when we're first starting up the PIM. So it could be from an existing ERP like Sage or Microsoft or SAP or other, or it could be an external system, where you want to import those attributes into our PIM. Then, the processes we undertake is, are there any new fields that we need to create within the system? How can we label them correctly and associate them with different categories? Different categories have different types of attributes. And then, can you easily manage them through enhancements, mass updates, import, updating data and whatever. And can we only see those ones that we want to do? So within the PIM itself, I'm in fashion. What I'm going to do is take you through a number of methods to update and create attributes on the page for a product. So in this instance, we're looking at this column here. You can see, we've got some elements changing. These are fields, text fields in this instance, or pick lists, and so on. But, how can we change the fields to have the correct labels and put them in the correct sections? So we're going to sort of take you through this route now. I've prepared a file. And I'm going to just show you some examples. So in this file, I've already loaded the product descriptions and things like that. I've created them within the PIM through initial imports. Very important is I need that ID number. So if I look at any system, here's the part number that I've imported. And it has an internal ID, which is its unique identifier. So, I've got a list of attributes that I want to do with some labels. I want these types of areas for them. They're different types. So part of the thing that I've got to decide is, how am I going to get them into the PIM? So there's two things that we're doing here, and I've pre-prepared this file so you can see how we're doing it and teach you some tricks. So the first thing that we're doing is in this method is we're actually exporting all of the fields that exist within the PIM itself, the product object. So what we have within the PIM is, if we go into our products, if I go to our object definition, this is only available for your technical people or your administrators of the PIM. But here I can see all of the fields that currently exist within the PIM itself that I can use. But if I wanted to create a new field, for additional attributes, I can do it using this, and then start to map my data when I'm ready to bring it into the actual PIM itself. So in this instance, what I'm going to do, go back to my fashion section, and go back here, is I've exported all of these. So what I've got is I've got the field label here. I've got which I'm going to be using in certain ways. I wanted to know what the data types are. So these are the different data types that these are. and these are just integration names that can be used. I've identified the fields that I can use, and I've also added the fields for fashion that may not have been in my existing link. That's these ones here. So I've actually just gone and added them as pick lists into that, and these are the new labels that I want to use. The next thing is based on my data, which I've changed and updated, that I've exported from my existing systems. I can see, well, how do I want to use that within the PIM? So in this instance, what I've done here is I've sorted out the fields where I'm going to put this data. But most importantly, I've actually given them some different labels so that when they appear on the page, these are the labels that are going to be associated with this set of products or these categories. So you can see, I'm changing. I can physically change the labels that I want to display based on that, which is a very useful scenario. I'm going to sort of talk about how that's done. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be importing this data here into these fields within the PIM, having cleaned this up. So before I go through, I'll start to do that and show you how we do this. So basically, what we're doing is we've got an import file which has got our ID. It's got some data that we're looking to import and update for these items within the PIM, and these are the attributes that we want to bring in. So we could use this file to just clean it up, but we can equally use other methods within the PIM itself to do these cleans. But I shall import all this and then we'll look at how we can update the data itself.